Billy, livestock's not a new product that or commodity that we're protecting, but a new focus, like you mentioned, a new identity that's out there. When it comes to livestock, give us an idea from a 30,000 foot view, what we're looking at there. What are we protecting? Hey everybody, it's Brooks with AgriSompo, and welcome straight to the point. This month, we're joined with special guest Billy Moore, National Sales Manager at AgriSompo. Now, I've had the opportunity to work with Billy a few years, and I've sensed a level of enthusiasm that we don't see every day, and it comes with a new look and focus on livestock. Billy, welcome to Straight to the Point. Tell us a little bit about what's got you so excited with AgriSompo and livestock.
Well, first of all, Brooks, I show up with enthusiasm every day. But with regard to the livestock program right now, it is an emerging market and an emerging program. And the growth is just phenomenal in that side of the business or that line of the business. Livestock currently, since the government's increased support of the livestock program back in 2019, the market's grown tremendously. The reinsurance market has come to the market now and is more present and looking to participate in a grander fashion. And with that, we're looking to grow our book of livestock even more. We've got an identity now around that line of business, and we feel like we're poised to capture the piece of the market that we'd like to capture.
Billy, livestock's not a new product that or commodity that we're protecting, but a new focus, like you mentioned, a new identity that's out there. When it comes to livestock, give us an idea from a 30,000 foot view, what we're looking at there. What are we protecting?
Well, Brooks, you talk about livestock and the age of the program. The program's really been around since 2005, but in 2019, the RMA chose to provide more producer premium support to the product. And from that point, over the past 5 to 7 years, production has gone anywhere overall industry as a whole from about 100 million to about 1.7 billion in premium. So it's a growing market. As far as what is covered under the market, also as that evolution has taken place and as that increased premium support has been there, there's been expansion into multiple plans of livestock insurance. It really comes in about three different flavors or plans of insurance: livestock risk protection. That's most common in cattle and feeder cattle and fed cattle, but also, relevant to other livestock as well. LGM, livestock gross margin, which in a sense ensures a margin between the cost of inputs and the price of the given commodity or livestock that's being sold or marketed. And then the dairy risk protection program that protects dairy producers from the price of milk and a milk price decline. So it's got something for almost every type of livestock producer out there, anywhere from the fed cattle, feeder cattle and stocker guy to the dairy producer as well.
It's probably one of my favorite protection policies that we offer out there. Coming from a hedging background, it's a true hedge in the sense, especially with the beef cattle. When we look at a daily cash value index, it's based on what cash prices farmers are getting for these cattle in 12 states, averaged over a 7-day rolling average. So I really like the concept behind it because it is the truest of hedges. And in a lot of cases, this thing breaks down per pound. Could you give us an example, Billy, of how it might work on a feeder cattle contract just quickly?
Simply put, it is a government premium supported hedge type program or a floor or put, as would commonly call it in the commodities market. What that allows that, in this case, feeder cattle producer to do is to go out there and look ahead and look at their marketing window of the specific cattle that they're producing. And let's just say it's a cow calf producer. They could look out until they get ready to wean those calves and market them and set that price floor out into that marketing window. Or let's say it's a stocker producer that buys weanling calves and backgrounds them and puts them on grass and puts weight on them to go to the feed yard. They can look out at that marketing window and look at the offerings that's provided by the RMA and set that price floor when an opportunity presents itself. And they can do it in a manner that the premium is supported by the government. It's essentially like a supported hedge. When we really look at the specifics of that, it allows that grower to be able to tailor it to their size of operation. Versus what existed before was an unsupported type hedge that had to be bought in specific chunks or lots, depending on which one we're looking at. This allows you to tailor it to your specific herd size and head and be very specifically set for that grower's marketing window.
Billy, you just mentioned herd size there. Now, where's the perfect fit here? I know a lot of people probably hear about these programs and they think, well, I'm not a big enough producer to really look into it. What are the parameters around that?
That's again another highlight to the program, Brooks. Is when a producer looks out there, it doesn't matter if it's the small producer or the very large producer. Again, the beauty of this program, like I said earlier, is they can tailor it to the specific number of head in the operation and look at an offering out there in that marketing window and purchase the coverage accordingly when those opportunities become available. There are no limits, on the downside or the upside for the grower, and that's another thing that has increased the participation in this product. We look out there, we see a lot of potential for agents to produce, some really nice, provide a good risk management tool for their growers out there, regardless of size. And we see a real lack of participation in the mid-sized to smaller grower. And I think that's a great opportunity for agents to grow their book of business and also grow the awareness of the program.
Yeah, that's great to keep in mind. So I'm going to press you here just a little bit. We can kind of say from a corporate level, we're reinventing ourselves. We have new focus. Where the rubber meets the road, where are agents and producers going to see this out of AgriSompo over the next few months?
Well, our business development reps and our business development teams will be out there talking about livestock over the coming months. They should be reaching out to every agent that they think would possibly be interested or have the potential to produce this. The cool part about it is cattle and livestock exists in almost all 50 states. So there's an opportunity out there for nearly every agent in the United States who wants to learn the program, wants to start getting in touch with livestock producers, wants to learn to talk the talk and learn the basic mechanics of it and learn how to quote it. There's an opportunity for agents everywhere. And our business development teams are trained and poised and ready to support that effort.
Billy, you just mentioned quoting right there, and I work with a lot of agents. They're always wanting something a little bit more efficient, a little bit better. Any new tools in the works with AgriSompo?
Yes, Brooks. It's one of the things that's a barrier to delivery of the livestock program and is often a task that agents seem to become disenchanted with is the fact that in a lot of cases you have to quote these risks and quote for a given producer day after day, and it becomes very redundant, because there may not be an offering on a specific day and you may have to quote it 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times before you get into a place where there's an offering that covers the grower's needs. So in that, even though we've already got a very well functioning user friendly quoting platform, we're looking at some automation on that quoting platform that would allow the agent to kind of set it and forget it. They could set up the quote and it would generate daily based on the offerings available by the RMA that day. So it's going to eliminate the redundancy and generate a quote that can be delivered to both agent and producer on a daily basis based on the request of the producer and the risk they're trying to cover. We feel like this will be an innovation that will hopefully get a lot of people interested in selling livestock that maybe haven't done it in the past.
A lot of times on these policies, we have to make decisions in the morning, get a lot of paperwork done in the morning. Any change to our ability to get signatures in the future?
Yeah, we are integrating a DocuSign process into the delivery of the livestock packet and the specific coverage endorsement to where we can flow that cleanly and neatly out of our system to the producer, capture that signature, flow it back into our system, which will eliminate a lot of that dragging and dropping and emailing and other tasks that also is a little bit of a deterrent for some people wanting to jump into the market and getting interested about selling the coverage.
Well, Billy, I really appreciate your time today. You've given us a great 30,000 foot view. We've looked down to see what AgriSompo is providing new, and I'm pretty excited because in a value proposition, a lot of different parties are able to benefit, whether that's the farmer, whether that's the agency, whether that's the AIP. I think by working together, this is going to be a big success in the future, and I share that same optimism and enthusiasm you've got.
Thank you.
Every once in a while, a company has to take a step back and really reinvent their identity when it comes to different products that they may sell every single day. Our idea here is to capture a little bit of an underutilized product that really has a lot of value from the farmer, the agency, all the way through the AIP. We think this approach is something that's going to be important to us in the future. A company can talk the talk, but they've got to walk the walk. And I think the examples that we've got are some new features out there when it comes to the quoter, the DocuSign, that's going to make this far more efficient than it has been in the past. In review, you've got buy-in from the top to the bottom of AgriSompo for a new look when it comes to livestock. I think this is something that can not only change your customers' way of life and how they protect livestock, but also enhance your business as an agency as well. Our ask today is if you want to learn more about livestock, even if you just might be barely enticed by it, contact your business development rep. We're going to get with you, teach you about the products, maybe walk through a plan that's going to make you more knowledgeable and hopefully add value to your business. We appreciate your time listening to Straight to the Point. We'll catch you next month.